Okay, on this question, they're asking us to match the following functions with their graph. So we have some square root graphs and some different versions of the square root graph, and we're trying to match these up. So how does this work? Well, if we look down at the exam one notes, this is the last thing on the exam one notes, function transformations. Gives us actually the example of a square root. In fact, it's even got the 3 thing. It's going to really help us. See, it says, if you have a number added, or if you add or subtract a number outside of the parentheses or the square root, like same thing either way, it moves the graph up for adding, down for subtracting. See that? So up for adding, down for subtracting. So for example, if you have this adding, it goes up 3. Versus if you put the, if you add or subtract the number inside the parentheses, it goes in the opposite direction, right for subtraction, left for adding. That's weird, huh? We would think subtraction would be left, but it's actually right. And adding we would think is right, but it's actually left. It's opposite. And so in other words, when it's inside the square root or parentheses, if you have a function like, x plus 3 squared, see how that's inside the parentheses versus x squared plus 3, that's outside. So you can be inside or outside the parentheses. Same thing for a square root. You can have, the square root of x plus 3, that's outside of the square root or outside of the parentheses, or you can be inside of the parentheses or inside of the, inside of the square root. All right, so that's what we mean by inside or outside. You're either inside of the function, whether it's a square root or a parenthesis, whatever, same thing. You're either inside or outside. Now, that's the big difference. If you're, look up here again, if you're outside, it's up or down. Versus if you're inside, it's right or left. See how that works? So in this case, it's left 3 because it's opposite. So plus 3 is actually left. So inside is right or left, and outside is up or down, and add is up, subtract is down. All right, enough. So let's go back. All right. So this one. So normally if we just have, let me start with just what is just the normal square root of x function. Well, that's in our notes as well. Let me show you. It looks like that. In fact, here I could show you where it is in the notes real quick. So in the exam one notes, here we go. You see it right there. Here, let me grab it and bring it over for us so we can have it really clearly here. All right. There it is. Okay, so this is also part of the exam one notes. And there's the square root of x function. Do you see it? See how that square root starts right there? He still knows where it starts. It starts at the origin and it goes up to the right like that. That's just normal square root of x without any numbers added or subtracted inside or outside of the square root. That's just a normal square root function, starts at the origin. But if you start adding numbers outside or inside, it's going to move the starting point right or left or up or down, right? That's the idea. So we get back here and we go, okay, normal square root of x starts at the origin, goes this way. But this one clearly has been moved right 3. Instead of starting at the origin, it's right 3. So what makes it go right or left? Well, we come back down here and we go, okay, right. Let's see. Right is subtraction inside. See that? Inside the parentheses or square root, inside subtract is right. So we go, oh, it's been moved right. So inside subtract. This one. Oh. So that 3 is subtracted inside the square root. It's not this one because this one's subtracted outside of the square root. Inside the square root makes right or left, and it's actually opposite for right, left. Negative is right. Okay, next one. What has this one been moved? Here, it's been moved left 3. So what move? Go back down to the notes. Left is add, again, inside of the square root. Left is add. So inside of the square root, left is add. It's this one. Again, inside, not this one outside. Okay. Now the next one, this one has been moved down. See, it originates, its origin is now moved down 3. What's going to make it go down 3? Well, come back to here. Down is subtraction outside of the parentheses or square root. Subtraction outside of the parentheses or square root. So this, see how that's subtraction? And it's outside of the square root. It's not like that one, which is inside of the square root. And last one right here, this one's been moved up 3. What makes us go up 3 right here? Up is add outside of the square root. Add outside the square root. So this one, adding outside the square root, not adding inside the square root. So that's how we know how functions are affected by their graph. So just remember, when you have like a square root, x, the numbers in here, plus is for right. No, that's not correct, is it? Plus actually goes, they're reverse. Plus goes left, negative goes right. And then if you have a number, that's plus or minus a number there. And then you have plus or minus a number out here. That plus goes up and negative goes down. It's a nice little way of putting it. Do you see that? So that's what we look at. So when we go, okay, right, what's going to go right? Negative in there, negative inside. Left, positive in there, positive in there. Down 3, down is negative out there, negative out there. And up 3 is positive out there, positive out there. And so there we go.